alcoholic caregiver.
One of the daughters had kidney issues when she was 9. Jean's solution? Giving her cups of salty Bovril.
And that's the last thing you should ever do if you have those kinds of conditions.
You would know as an adult that giving cups of very salty drinks to a child who's got kidney problems is bad. There was 4 of us, all within a couple of beers of each other. They didn't get Bovril, only I got Bovril. So was it a deliberate thing?
According to the sisters, whenever someone they knew was sick or injured, Megan would suddenly fall ill with a similar condition. At this point, they were already grown up and Megan lived alone with Jean. When the newborn niece needed oxygen tanks, Jean suddenly announced that Megan in America also relied on oxygen tanks. If the half-brother had crutches due to a knee injury, Megan also had them shortly after. When the half-sister had sepsis, Megan was suddenly hospitalized for sepsis too.
I'm going to predict this is going to happen next, and then we'd put little bets on it, and we'd be like, yes, we got it right.
Megan was just 13 years old when she supposedly got ill. Her entire teenage years were marked by doctor visits and surgeries. Her whole life revolved around her supposed illness.
From a very young age, Megan was kind of encouraged and indulged to be a very unwell person. So rather than, as most parents would do, you encourage your child to be healthy, and if they are unwell, get them over it as quickly as possible. This was the opposite.
She took a lot of meds, including opioids. Doctors noted opioid-seeking behavior in her, and always by her side was her mother. Jean was the one who often posted the fundraising appeals, and she was also the one who first mentioned Megan's brain tumor in a Twitter post.
Part of the motivation here seems to have been to become a celebrity, to meet celebrities, to meet One Direction, to become this hero that could then look after other kids, because they were able to help a lot of children. A lot of children got a lot of benefit from the work Megan and Jean did. And I think they enjoyed doing that for those children.
I believe that's why the charity came about, and why the charity was started, to get the attention of One Direction.
Later, a special review was conducted into Megan's death.
Despite there being no formal diagnosis of FII in this case, the presentation and coroner's conclusion lead all involved to think it was likely to have been FII.
Belief in Magic was investigated in 2017. It was found that charity money had been transferred into Jean's personal bank account, and £100,000 were unaccounted for. In August 2020, Believe in Magic was closed down. Jamie and his team tried to locate Jean. They tracked her all the way to France and back to the UK, but to no avail.
And Jean never ever responded to us until right at the very end, just before we were about to publish, where she sent us a sort of blurry picture of a brain scan and said, look, this is proof that Megan really did have a brain tumour. How dare you question me? And she of course denied everything, denied that she'd ever wanted to harm Megan, denied that she'd lied about it.
In the end, we may never get all the answers to this case. But hopefully the story of Megan Barry can help to make sure that this doesn't happen again.
Munchausen syndrome by proxy, or as we call it now, FII in the UK, is not just something that can happen to small children. You can be an adult and still be heavily under the influence of your parents or a caregiver. And that is something that the NHS here in the UK has now recognised and is starting to put out more guidance about this problem. Partly, I think, as a result of this case.